The man who's supposed to love her instead feels pity for her situation. Not to mention, the only reason he had married her was to get close to her younger sister. Heartbroken, Han Iju flees the event and gets into a severe accident after an oncoming truck rams her car off the road. Han Iju suffers fractures in her right ribs and bleeding in her lungs. She has lost a lot of blood and has even sustained some serious organ damage. Han Iju's mother arrives at the hospital but neither has shame nor concern in her eyes. Yusei Hyok, too, instead of standing alongside his wife, is interested in comforting Han Yura and Lee Young-hai, who don't feel bothered by the fact that their own blood, Han Iju, is on the brink of death. Lee Young-hai crosses all boundaries and turns off Han Iju's life support to kill her. In reality, Han Iju is her adopted daughter and she does nothing but abhor her. Han Iju, on the other hand, did everything she could to win her heart. Despite being mistreated, she never complained. She never asked for anything, but all Lee Young-hai did was make her feel awful. Han Iju overhears everything and begs God to give her one final chance so she can have her revenge. She wants to teach Yusei Hyok, her in-laws, and her family how it feels to be on the sharp end of the blade. Han Iju starts collapsing soon, and despite the doctor's best efforts, she dies. Surprisingly, Han Iju wakes up in the past when she and Yusei Hyok are not yet married but engaged. Han Iju decides to make the most of her second chance and breaks off her marriage with Yusei Hyok. She even goes the extra mile and rips open the expensive wedding dress she has chosen to wear on her big day. She then smashes the bouquet on Yusei Hyok's head, suggesting she's not the same Han Iju who put others before her. Instead, she's now someone who's not afraid to wreak havoc on those who dare to cross her path. Han Iju, Young Yu-min, is a young woman who divides her hours between painting and tending to her house chores. From the outside, it appears that her life is perfect, but the reality is something entirely different. She's often disrespected and shrugged off by her sister-in-law whenever she requests that she help vacuum the house. Moreover, Han Iju's mother-in-law, Choi Jae-suk, Kim Yi-ryong, takes her passive-aggressive torture one step further and often berates her efforts, completely disregarding the hours of hard work Han Iju puts in it. She often bugs Han Iju by demanding she get Yusei Hyok, Han Iju's husband, a job in her father's company. Choi Jae-suk justifies her demand by claiming that Han Iju's sister, Han Yura, Jin Ji-hee, is set to marry Seo Du-kook, the CEO of the firm where Yusei Hyok works, and it wouldn't be good for their family if his younger brother-in-law were his boss. Han Iju tries convincing her mother-in-law that Yusei Hyok is happy in his current job but is instead blamed for making Yusei Hyok, Oh Sun-yun, feel small. Han Iju drives to her parents' house, only to find that they've already left for a big office event. Han Iju's family owns one of the biggest companies in the country. They're also organizing an auction, with Han Yura as the one pulling all the strings. However, what Han Iju doesn't know is that her husband, Yusei Hyok, is head over heels for her younger sister. He even quit his job, hoping to land a position in Han Yura's company so he could be closer to her. Han Iju is under the impression that Yusei Hyok must have had a concrete reason for quitting his job and thus decides to support him. It's obvious that Han Iju's life is far from perfect. She's neither respected by her in-laws nor her own family. Han Iju's mother, Lee Young-hai, Lee Min-young, is holding a grudge against her for marrying Yusei Hyok. The reason is that Yusei Hyok comes from a middle-class family that isn't that rich compared to Han Iju's. She sees this as an insult to her family and even refuses to acknowledge her daughter's talents. Lee Young-hai outright makes it clear that Han Iju's paintings are mediocre, just like herself. However, Han Iju has somehow managed to pull through it all. Han Iju meets Seo Du-kook, Sung-hoon, CEO of her husband's company, and the duo shares some heartfelt conversation while looking at the painting. Seo Du-kook is soon to exchange vows with Han Yura, but he doesn't seem to be interested in her. Instead, he tries to help Han Iju see the obvious truth: her husband has completely abandoned his feelings for her and is now eyeing for her sister. At first, Han Iju ignores it, but soon, she begins to have serious reservations. Things take a serious turn when one of the clients attending the auction slaps Lee Young-hai right in front of everyone, blaming her for swindling her. She then breaks one of the paintings, explaining that the painting Lee Young-hai is passing off as a 40-year-old is nothing but a fake. She reveals that it is painted over with coffee-colored paint to make it look older and more original. The woman then points fingers at Han Iju, claiming she's in cahoots with her mother and the duo has been swindling people for years. The cops barge onto the scene, asking for Lee Young-hai's art sales transactions along with the list of her gallery's collection to see how many fakes they have sold so far. Seeing there's no way out, Lee Young-hai shamelessly asks her daughter, Han Iju, to shoulder all the blame. However, before she can even deny it, manager Kim lies to everyone attending the event that Lee Young-hai is innocent and everything is his and Han Iju's doing. Han Iju was making fakes of famous paintings while he was faking the sources and getting her buyers. Lee Young-hai also tries to coerce her into accepting the blame, assuring that she'll be hiring the best lawyers to get her out. Han Iju denies all the charges, but manager Kim had already placed incriminating evidence against her. This is the moment Han Iju realizes that her mother never truly loved her. She was nothing but a sacrificial lamb for her. Han Iju's sister, Han Yura, is also convinced she's guilty. Sadly, Yusei Hyok, instead of siding with his wife, chose to confess his feelings to Han Yura. However, she rejects him, stating he's forgetting his place and she would never love someone like him. Unfortunately, Han Iju overhears everything and can't believe her ears. She thinks Yusei Hyuk is joking and asks him if he is, but the latter shows her the divorce papers. This suggests that he's a bit serious. Whatever love Yusei Hyuk had for Han Iju has faded away. He pities Han Iju's situation, she's always trying hard to impress her parents but to no avail. Han Iju is heartbroken, and why shouldn't she be?